Who you calling? Yeah. Yes. I'm going live here in a second. Through 4,000, Patrick. And Patrick, I'm coming up on the northwest or southwest corner, going to be making a turn here. I'm through 5,000. Oh, I got you behind you. Have you checked in yet? Southeast or southwest corner, southeast corner, going around the corner here to the south. He's on with air text, am I? Don't ask that, dummy. Holy air attack, helicopter TV5, 2292. Yes, sir, you got TV5, TV7 on the west side of the TFR making a turn to be working the south side of your TFR outside of the TFR, about 65 where we were yesterday near the antenna site. All right, 7 and I will take care of the media coming in. All right. Well, just arriving here on the west side, the Orange County side. You're looking at the southeast corner of the fire here. It's burned its way up the hill and over back where John Fenolio is. It's on the opposite side of the smoke you see right now. But yeah, it was an intense firefight here yesterday all day with the tankers coming in. And they've done a pretty good job keeping it away from some of the houses. But that area there right above Gateways we've been watching all day today. It was probably about a half mile away last night, but has slowly made its way down the hill. And right now they've gone into that structure protection where they're trying to fight the fire right behind the houses, hoping that Phos-Chek lines hold. But you can see there is a lot of smoke out here, a lot of fire still burning around the area here as I swing around the south side of the fire. I'm coming up over the El Toro Road, or Highway 74 for you folks familiar with the area. That's what I'm over right now, and that's working up towards the Elsinore area. So when I get around the corner here, we should have a better look at where John's at, and keep an eye on the Air Force coming overhead, as he called it. It is quite a show from up here in Sky 5, but the smoke completely is inundating the whole area, and right now on the south side, pretty clear for Elsinore, but everything is down to the northwest, into the northeast, the smoke moving, and I tell you, the plume is climbing well above 15,000 feet. As we've been talking about that weather phenomena where that fire causes that heat to rise, sends it up, and causes that wind down below to start coming up canyon, driving that fire along. And it can come from every direction, not just the prevailing breeze, but as it goes up, it just pulls that air up with it, and the firefighters have to deal with that. And with that, it sends those embers out, getting ahead of the fire. So right now, we're going to look here on the south side, work my way around over towards Lake Elsinore, and see if I can check out the city of Elsinore here, where that fire is coming down towards Gateway. So let me send it back down to you. Right. All right, I got you. Stand behind you. Probably 2 miles of trail. Can't even see that tank anymore, can I? Yeah, that's that area just to the south of where John's at. As it works its way down that thing. You see right there a helicopter right into the smoke, putting water on it, trying to cool it down, slow it down. He's not going to put it out with that. All it does is a cooling effect. But yeah, it's right above these houses. And the area where John is, I can't even see because there's so much fire and smoke around it. But you can see how close it's getting in there. And right now it's coming down that bowl. And it flares up. What it does is it drops down in a bowl, throw an ember out in the base of that bowl, and then it blows up on both sides. And that's why you get those wide areas of fire that come up like that. And then with that come the embers. And then with the prevailing winds, it'll drop it out ahead. But yeah, those homes right there at the bottom in peril right now. But you can tell the firefighters in there on structure protection with their engines and their hand crews, as well as those helicopters doing their pinpoint drops with the Bambi buckets up in there. You can see one coming out right here, kind of looking down in there. And that's a big 62 there. He carries about, I'd say, about 2,600 gallons of water to come out here. And they're coming right out of Lake Elsinore, so the water source really close to it. So they're able to turn around really quick and get back up in there. But, yeah, this fire is really advanced a lot from when I saw it last night at 10 o'clock. Down the hill towards that Gateway Street, which is the most northern, or actually, northwest. Yeah, all that area is in peril. So if you do live in that area, you need to leave now because this fire is really coming down the hill towards you. Yeah, they give you as much leadway as they can, and they're not going to handle it lightly. They give you the advisory, then they give the warning, then they give mandatory. And what they're trying to do is get you out of the area so you're out of the way of the personnel trying to come up to fight that fire. And then because life comes before property, if you're stuck up in there now and you're calling for help, they're going to turn resources to come up and help you, which might in turn cause your neighbor down the street to lose a house. So you have to heed the warnings. You know, that ready, set, go is there for a reason, to get you out of your harm's way and let the firefighters do their job out here. But right now, if you're not out of this area, you're going to be in peril here in not too long, because this fire is going to come wrapping around and jump, and if it jumps or the wind changes, it's going to be a completely different ball game down here. So no, this is not anything to be take lightly. Once they tell you to go, it's time to go, and hopefully you heed the warning and go out. Yeah, that area right there to the left of the gazebo. I mean, that's just prime. He'll start going there. He does have that space up behind it, but it does come back around on the side. And those are both what they call drainages, where you have like a bowl. And when the water comes down, it goes through there, it stays away from the house. But also, that builds up a lot of energy down in there when the fire gets down in there, because it's coming up both sides. And so it could drop in on either side of that house, and you'd have fire coming along both sides of that house. Even though it has a little bit of fire break, the only thing going for this place right now is tile roof. But those, and then all to the wildland. So go ahead. Five's coming around to the east. Yeah, the hilltop is directly under the side of the smoke column, so I'm sure the smoke is messing with us. Okay, no problem. All right, I got you. I'm going to pass behind you. Do you have any idea what street that big mansion's on? I really just looking at my thing, and I couldn't tell by looking at the camera. I'm guessing maybe on Ainsworth. It kind of looks like Ainsworth Place, right off of Grand Avenue. I'm seeing Ainsworth, A-N-I-S Worth. And then where that tank is, Gateway. This looks like it's below that tank, or towards us. Don't worry about it. Oh, absolutely. It's right above Grand is where these houses are. I believe it's Ainsworth or Ainsworth type, but there's a lake right down there below, or Grand below it. And you see how close these houses are. And that part that goes up into the smoke there, that's the Gateway, top of that hill there. So fire coming down completely around there and then working its way down towards this very northern point of Lake Elsinore. So, yeah, these homes are in peril. I mean, right along that road that runs on the bottom of the hill, fire coming down over the hill and working its way down towards them. So, right now, they're going to have to come in here with either water-dropping helicopters, as you saw that one go in there, and try to slow that one part down. And then the other aircraft, once we get them back in here, would be able to maybe throw a line of phosgenic between that house and the fire. But they have fire much closer to houses over in the Glen Ivy and the Horse Thief Canyon area. That's right up behind the houses there. So they're doing their best to hit that. Whatever's closer, they'll go for first. So right now, you can see the fire still burning quite heavily up in the hill, and hitting the fresh brush up there. And that's more fuel for it to grow, throw embers out, and then continue to spread. And the wind is kind of calm up here right now. We're seeing it coming out of the southeast, as Vera was saying, not very hard, and the smoke column going straight up, building that cumulus cloud right on top of the fire, the smoke from the fire. So that shows you the amount of heat that's coming off, and to where it drives that moist air up into the altitude where it condenses, makes that cloud. But you see North Elsinore completely covered with smoke. as it works its way around the 15 up to the north. And like I said, Horse Thief Canyon and Glen Ivy area, it's well under all that smoke, and they're trying their best to get to those houses. So Mark Lou, let me send it back down to you. The 5 is about mid-span of the south TFR leg, and turn it back to the east. I'm coming around to the left, too close to the TFR. Yeah. Turn it back east. There is? I can't see it. That's it. I can't see it on my monitor. I got the tent way up, or I'll turn the tent down, the saturation up, see what I get. All right. Seven, I heavy patch left. Oh yeah, that's right above that house where we were looking. And every time we look away, another flare will kick off. You see, this is a little further to the west of that house we were talking about, and you see how fast it comes up. It gets down into that drainage and then hits some fuel and then just blows right up. So, but we're looking in here close during the commercial break, and there is a Phos-Chek line in behind that house. I don't know if it's reading real well on your screen, but you can see it's kind of orange tent behind that house. They've gone through there and have dropped in there trying to take care of that. You kind of see it going across that. I think that's a solar array behind that house. But yeah, they've painted a few spots through here, and they'll come back in and reinforce it, double up on it, and hopefully stop that fire behind these houses. But yeah, it only takes an ember to jump that line, and then once it jumps the Phos-Chek line, then they are going to come in and reset it again. So it's really wait and see what goes on as that fire approaches. But that's why that helicopter was up there with the water drops hitting the hot spots, and all that is a effort to cool it down so it doesn't get too much energy to it. And if they drop those cooling drops on there, it slows down the progress of the fire as well. It gives that retardant a chance to work. And once that fire burns up to the retardant, there's no more fuel for it, and hopefully it'll go out. So that's normally what happens in a perfect situation, but with firefighting, you got to be very flexible and able to change at a moment's notice and be able to reevaluate what you need here. But I can tell you that smoke is now dropping down into Elsinore. That's kind of, the wind's kind of prevailing out of the southwest, working its way here and then coming over the hill, and you get that downward effect as it comes over the hill, and it's just dumping it down into the residence here. You can see that. Not a lot of clearance for aircraft to get underneath there, the big fixed wing, but the helicopters, but they're right up in there with it, doing their best to slow this thing down. And I'm sure that there are engine and hand crews behind most of these houses as a last stand for that structure defense. So we got to hand it to the guys in the airplanes and the helicopters, but the guys and girls doing their hard work are the hand crews down there with the pick shovels and hose lines battling this fire face to face. So Mark and Lou, let me send it back down to you. Oh, absolutely. You're in a, let's say the 747 comes through at 160 knots. That's a lot of aircraft going really fast, and they're usually within about 400 feet of the ground. So in the smoke like that, they're not going to have much reaction time should there be a hillside or disorientation getting in there. But what they do is they send a smaller lead plane down in first to check the visibility, check the terrain, and then that lead plane will then go out, pick up the larger aircraft, and then a larger aircraft will follow him into the smoke or into the area and then give indication where to drop it. So it's well planned out before those big jets get in there, but it isn't any less risky because of the changing environment down there. At a moment's notice, the wind could change or the billowing cloud of smoke could just roll over and come down the hill. And then the next thing you know, he's through the clouds. But they have an escape route that they take as soon as they come in. They know which way to turn away from terrain and be able to start a quick climb away and from the fire and away from the terrain to be able to get themselves out of harm's way. And as I turn myself back around here, you see there's another Skorsky 62 working its way down here to Lake Elsinore, picking up water. He's doing those cooling drops that we see here behind those houses, slowing it down. But the big jets, it's all planned out by the smaller aircraft, what they call the lead. He gets in there and checks it out. But they always have a plan to get out of harm's way should they, what they call, go inadvertent IMC or instrument meteorological conditions where you can't see out the window. They know which way to turn, which way to climb, and they come out of it. But there's little smaller airplanes get in there a little bit tighter because they're a little bit more maneuverable than a 747 or a MD-87 or those other BAE 146s. So right now they haven't seen them on scene. So let me send it back down to you. Yeah, whoever's coming westbound, 5's up in front of you, I'll pass you right. Yeah, it's 5 in behind you. I'll follow you in a turn. All right. 5's back to the west in trail of 7. Pass now to right door 7. Righter. Boy. All right. Not a lot of turbulence over on this side. Five's a right turn back way east. Okay. Five's left turn back west. All right. I'm going to talk about that house that had all the fire around it. The fire's kind of gone down. Coming on. Five's right turn back east. Same fire. Got it. Five's back west, left turn. Those helicopters should be heading back up there. I lost them. Where? He's going to be popping out right here. All right. I'm going to go further here and I'll make a right turn. All right. Gotcha. That's fine. I'm going to turn a little bit south here. I got you now. I'm going to come around to the right. Yeah, you're looking at that fire that was raging here just about 15 minutes ago above the house that we were showing you. As we come out here, I'll show you the house down below that we were worried about, that big one right there. You see that fire has been knocked down above it. They went up there with those cooling drops. There's 2 large helicopters working out of Lake Elsinore coming up there making the drops, cooling drops to slow it down. And it looks like they've done a great job to take care of that house. And as we swing to the left, you'll see that row of houses that's right at the bottom of the hill there. The fire's slowly moving its way down here. That's where they're going to start working those helicopter drops in there. And, you know, we were looking for the aircraft to come out from underneath that smoke that I could hear on John's live hit there, and I never saw him come out to the south. So that's how dense this smoke is. They're flying around under the smoke and through it, working their way in there trying to protect these homes. But you can see right here that this is the majority of the fire on the south side. Working behind these houses, the fire department doing everything they can to hit it. And you can see just a little bit jumping across that small dirt road, and it's right up against the houses there. But you see the camp crew trucks there on that road, along with engines as well, to be able to get in there. And I'm looking there. Yeah, those are camp trucks. So basically they carry about 10 to 15 personnel. They'll get in there and start cutting lines and trying to slow this down as it comes up to that road, use that road as a natural break up in there. So right now they got fire working south of them, working back to the north, but they're going to get in between the structures and those flames to be able to knock them down, slow them down, and keep them away. But that's the firefighting folks. They do their best out here. You can see right there, that's a S-64 Sky Crane coming in. 2,600 gallons that aircraft can carry, so that's a lot of water it can use to slow this thing down. And the turnaround is only about 5 minutes from the lake to where these drops are being made. And he's kind of making a swing around, so we may see a drop here right now. This is a Sikorsky Sky Crane, that long tube hanging down. That's where they use to draft the water up into the tank, which is what 793, the number on there. That's the tank. 2,600 gallons that they can put in there. They can also add in Phos-Chek if they want. So he's just kind of circling around, looking for a target of opportunity down there to do the best he can with that water. You see him kind of swinging around. That's what they do. I mean, these guys that fly those helicopters, they're down there dealing with the smoke, they're dealing with terrain, and then the turbulence put up by this by the fire itself. And he's kind of working right along in support of those firefighters on the ground. And right there you saw just a gray drop of water in the gray smoke, and the flames go away. So good hit by that 64 up there, putting water down there, supporting the guys on the ground. So Mark and Lou, let me send it back down to you. What? Yeah, oh yeah, I got the water. I love the text message. Jennifer, someone talk to me. We're starting to get winds. It's going to start picking up. Yeah, I mean, just this little rumble here, it's probably really cooking down below. Okay. TV5, turn it back west, 65. Yeah, they did a great job stopping it coming down the hill. There was just a giant load of fire right above it. You see just a little bit left, but there's two helicopters working that with water drops to slow it down and to cool it down. So they've done their job to stop it there, and now they're working their way a little bit to the left, up the hill to the left there on that row of houses that follow the road that goes uphill. And there's a lot of fire on the hillsides above that, so that's where their concern is now on this side. We're on the south side of the fire, just south of the El Toro, or excuse me, the 74 that comes through the Ortega Highway that runs through the hills here out of Orange County into Riverside. That's a little bit south of where you're looking right now. But you can see the community right here at the base of the hill, still in harm's way with that fire coming down the hill. But the firefighters are, like I said, in that structure protection mode where they're in the structures with engines, hand crews, and then those pinpoint drops by the two large helicopters that are dropping water in behind them to slow it down. But you can see here the resources down in there just maintaining a watch, and anything that pops up in that area, they'll be all over it to knock it down. And John was giving us a great example of that behind the houses where he's at. They're able to bring hose lines in, hit the hot spots, get them knocked down before they become big. But this fire is just, it won't give up. It just keeps pushing around and moving around the different lines. When we started this Monday morning or Monday afternoon at 1:21 when the first fire calls went out, just a small fire working up Holy Gem and Trabuco Canyons, and now it is blown clean over the top and working down into Elsinore. And just amazing the amount of fire that's working here that they have to deal with. And when you get fires this big and this wide, it really hampers the resources and stretches them very thin to where they have to start moving them around the area, around the areas of the fire. And then right now it's really a fight to be watched up here with the big tankers coming in and going to be able to start working this. But right there, it's the hand crews doing the hard work right now, keeping the fire away from the houses. So Mark and Lou, let me send it back down to you. There's the DC-10. Five's back east, working towards the south shore of Elsinore. Yeah, the exact.
Bless you.
Watch for that DC-10 to be coming around. Coming around right. Right. Jimmy up on 8.5. All right. Yeah, I'm working south of the south leg of the TFR 6500 east-west. All right. Boy, that C-130 just took a big turn out there right over the 15. Jim, I'm over the lake turning back to the west, 65. All right. Ten seconds. Big fire up on the hill up here. All right, I'm over that little community going west that's above the hill, on top of the hill. All right. Well, if these are backfires, are they squirting water on them? That crew? Yeah, I see them. That's definitely not a backfire here. There's no road around it. All right, I don't see us, so could be making a right turn here back east. All right, making a right turn back towards the lake. Are you at 65? All right, oh, I got you. Go right, right. What do you think that made that big road there is? Oh, that might be that's the Ortega, isn't it? Okay. And then the road that's the main divide up there. They should have. I just saw a Boscheck drop going up there. I don't see the airplane though. This is probably so old that those subdivisions aren't even on here. All right. Okay. Yeah, I see it. And a helicopter heading up towards it too. Yes, this is up the south side, further west from where we were looking earlier, where it's down by the house. More up in the wilderness. You see a fire break road right there. We have engines and stick camp crews on that road as well, going up in there. You can see them right there at the Y. And they were right up in there trying to stop this fire and slow it down to where it comes up to that fire break and then stops. So that's what their plan is. And they look like they've done a pretty good job there burning it out. And sometimes they'll set backfires along the fire breaks like this ahead of the fire to take away the fuels. And I'm not sure if that's what happened here, but right now you can see right the firefighters holding this area. And like I said, this is west of Lake Elsinore where we were watching the houses burn, or the fire burn near the houses. And but there's still a lot of fighting going on in the area because it's such a large fire line. And as we come out and go to the left a little bit, you see another line of fire just eating up more terrain over here to the southwest corner. So it's burning its way down to a fire break, and helicopters are coming along there, hitting it with water, doing that cooling operations to where they can make it slow down just a little bit more to where once it hits that fire break, it'll stop versus throwing embers over the top. So they're dealing with the hot spots and flare-ups all over the place on this fire, all the way around. The part we're looking at is the south side, and the reason we're looking here, we can't see any other portion of this fire due to the heavy smoke that's laying down over the hill here, up in the canyons, and then down over Elsinore. And they've been having quite a time of it. John had one fly over, and he never even saw it because of the smoke. So those pilots putting it all out there trying to knock this fire down. But yeah, you can see this large fire line here up on the hillside. This is just south of El Toro, or excuse me, the 74, and working its way down. You'll see a helicopter coming in from screen left here. So we'll keep an eye on this, Mark and Lou, and give you any developments as it blows up out here. That's Orange County. Coming to start my turn back. 5's coming back east, turning left. Roger. looking at? Okay. I can't tell when. It's fire. I try to look at. Right, Jim? Tanker's going into structure protection mode. Looks like another blow up over on the Holy Jim side. Coming back west. 5's coming back east, right turn. I lost you, Jim. All right. What? I haven't seen it. Getting a wind change here. That must be the fire right there under the smoke. Do you think? Yeah, I don't know where he's at. Okay, you see how the big line of fire up there behind the houses? I wonder if that's it. Yeah. I bet you that's it. I don't know if you can see it. See houses near those? Okay. Go back to wherever you want then. I just wanted to make sure. I know it's easier to shoot out here, but. Huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. Can you work that where the houses are at all? Is that just too hard for you? 95's turning back to the east, or correction, west. Trying to swing out here a little bit to get away from the smoke for you. You can go anywhere you want, buddy, because it's. I see smoke and obscured here any minute. So look at this column of smoke going up here. I don't know if you want to see this up here, right here. Big. Yeah, just come back and show the whole thing. Okay, go left, left. Right there. Just show me that big pile that goes way straight up. And then start wide and we'll come in on it. Do you get the top? Okay. Man, I can't. 35's turning back to the east, a right turn. Okay. Picture's clear. What's this road right here? One more right over. Huh? Okay. I didn't know they paved it. All right. to the left. 5's back west. Simon Sky 5. What's the plan? I got you there, Brent. You're very perceptive. Simon Sky 5. What's the plan here? I'm at about 40 minutes of fuel on station. Okay, so we're back for the 6 or just a quick turn? All right, we're going to head for French Valley. Okay. That way, or you want to go to French Valley? $11 miles, 26 miles. So you're only talking 5 or 7 minutes. We'll try it again. Copy, John Wayne. And 5 change of plans. I'm turning. TV5 departing west. 5, sir. See you later.